Tonight, Private First Class Bradley Manning is in military custody.
An Army intelligence analyst who, over time, it's believed, became disillusioned with U.S. foreign policy. He allegedly took credit for leaking this video of a U.S. helicopter strike in Baghdad, giving it to that whistleblower website, Wikileaks.
This is disgusting. Critics claim Assange not protecting his whistleblowers after the arrest of US Officer Bradley Manning. Which critics? What's the evidence? This is the type of uninformed.
It's been a month since Private Manning was arrested for leaking the Iraq video to Wikileaks. Editor-in-Chief Julian Assange has been virtually in hiding for all that time, moving constantly every few days to cover his trail.
Every dumb, false rumour all stuck together in the one article.
It's been a long and wearing month for Assange, and internet chatter about him is his main contact with the outside world.
It's just a lie. It's just not true.
I spend weeks lying low with Assange as he prepares for a spectacular re-emergence into the public eye. Assange was in Australia when Manning was arrested.
We had our intel sources saying that things were not looking good.
He immediately went into hiding and then made his way here to the UK when he believed the US were making requests of the Australian government to take some action against him.
As far as you could tell, what were the requests to Australia?
Well, as far as my source tells me, they were to perhaps raid, detain, interview, get information from in that manner. In the end, it was being seen as a counter-espionage request and was being treated that way by Australian authorities because it's involved an Australian journalist. They were a bit hands-off.
The arrest of Manning over the Iraq video and other material made it hot enough for Assange. But the material he's holding and working on now makes the Iraq video pale in comparison.
This is 91,000 reports between 2004 and 2010 from US forces, not generally including special forces, but all regular US Army forces in Afghanistan. And it includes the location, date, the unit involved, the number of people killed, wounded, or detained. In fact, it's the most detailed history of any war that has been made ever. It's significant.
Assange and others have been working around the clock, crunching raw military data into GPS-specific graphics and fully searchable text.
It's an extraordinary bit of history.
Well, it's also fairly current, so it's not exactly just of interest to librarians.
By history, I include what happened an hour ago.
Yeah.
There is nothing new in this world other than the history that you don't know yet, right?
Yeah.
So,
He's a man on a mission, but he's not flying entirely solo. For the first time in WikiLeaks history, he has pulled in some mainstream media heavyweights to collaborate in preparing material.
So where are we heading now?
off to the bunker in The Guardian.
But what's in the bunker? What's happening in the bunker?
In the bunker we have our team from Guardian, us, the Spiegel and New York Times was there, but they've gone back home. We have a really quite horrible airless room filled with computers, but at least it doesn't have anyone else in it.
In a secure room in The Guardian, teams of researchers and journalists from 3 publications are working their way through the material.
They describe what they're doing during this 3-hour slaughter. Okay. And then there's like another 5 killed here and there, and 3 here. So now look at exactly. Yeah. Doesn't add to 181. So it's suspicious. The other thing for anyone to pull these 3 important organisations together, yeah, 3 competitors together, and us. At some stage, they bring in this AC-130 gunship. It has actually been pretty good. Yeah. I mean, everyone has been generous and flexible. We always want to sort by civilian casualties, sort descending.
67.
Yeah.
Are we still only on 1? Sorry, I'm getting carried away in that case.
This is the most complex one, and the others are similar.
Okay.
With detailed field reports from almost every event in the war now available, unknown incidents are revealed and the veracity of official accounts of others called into question.
No, I don't think it's real.
This official video, supposedly of a battle with the Taliban,
There's no engagement taking place.
sits oddly with the leaked report, which details an aerial strike with a Hellfire missile and documents the wounded children left in its wake.
These people aren't undercover, they're just sitting on top of a wall. That's the propaganda version.
This historical archive belongs to the people of Afghanistan. This is their history.
It belongs to the military of the United States, though, I think, more properly.
Well, they would claim this, but no, that's not the way I see it. In a broader scheme, I mean, after this war is said and done, which I imagine is probably only a few years off, really it is the high-resolution history of the people of Afghanistan. And it is the first time anything this significant has come out during the course of a war.
After a few days here, it's time to move again, cramming an extraordinary amount of gear and possessions into what appears to be a magical backpack.
So this is pretty much it. This is life possessions, right? This is you.
This is not me. This is portable me.
Assange is heading off to give a talk at London's Centre for Investigative Journalism. Since speculation has been running rife about his whereabouts and the possibility of his arrest, this will be his first public appearance.
Why are you popping up now? You've been pretty low for the last, lying low for the last month.
Well, politically it seems all right. And might even be good to encourage a little bit of action, because I think we would win it and benefit from it. We would find a way to not be scared to publish anything that we actually wanted to publish.
Julian, thanks very much.
Aren't you afraid that something might happen to you? Because, of course, you have a very uncomfortable position in the eyes of many enemies, so to say.
Well, you act intelligently.
Right.
I mean, you think about the situation, act intelligently. So, get advice.
Centre Director Gavin McFadden.
There was never a safe place for a whistleblower to send that material. Now there is. And so Julian's got it all. And he's putting it out. And he's getting major collaborations going now, which is extremely interesting.
It then comes before Parliament.
Governments don't like what he does, and of course that makes him very attractive to a lot of people. And he becomes almost a kind of celebrity figure in a way.
But there must be some secrets that a government is entitled to keep secret.
Government's entitled to keep them secret, sure.
But you would release them.
But that doesn't mean we should suffer under coercive force.
If it's released damages national security, would you still go ahead and publish?
What do you mean? This phrase is so abused that, we have a 4-year publishing history. We have published enormous quantities of stuff.
Okay, so
pick an example.
The movement of troops, say.
No one has ever given us this movement of troops.
But would you publish?
I doubt that there'll be any, or very few people questioning the veracity of the material. It is what it is. But your action in publishing it may be judged very severely.
No, I think that won't happen quite so much. What our experience is that we get attacked when people don't like the message. We get attacked not in proportion to whatever we're doing wrong or doing right, but in proportion to the impact that our material is having. They will attack the messenger and try and discolour the message by proxy.
You're the messenger.
Yeah, and we're the messenger.
Well, you're the messenger,
Yeah.
quite specifically.
Well, that's true. My function in WikiLeaks is to take all the heat.
Yeah. But
Personally.
are you built for that? Is that in your DNA? Has that been your experience? My feeling is it's not. And how are you coping with that?
I've had my baptismal fire. We'll see what the second one is like. It'll be bigger, I think, than the first. On the other hand, I've had some experience, so
a bit battle hardened.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
As the new material starts to circulate between the three publications, the full scope of the data becomes clearer, and one of the partners seems to be getting a little nervous.
So the latest squabble is not over the date, they're all happy with that, but for the precise time. So anyway, the Times has come back and said they don't want to go first.
Why?
They want us to scoop them.
Seriously? Oh, so they can claim they were reprinting somebody else's news.
So, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can claim that we didn't.
We just were
weren't
reporting
involved,
what was already there.
We were just reporting on what someone else did.
That's good. So who's going first?
The New York Times. I mean, wants a web startup press to scoop them. Wants to be
scooped.
The US military accounts of local informers that they have, they're given in some detail.
Yeah, well, we've withheld all those.
But do you lie awake at night wondering whether you have found all of those? Whether you know?
Well, they have a particular
code.
A particular code
within the reports. So you excise those as best you can.
Wasn't too hard. Okay. Now that said, it is possible. I mean, there may be a stray report here or a stray report there. The choice, in the end, we are forced to make hard choices, and those hard choices are: do we do best effort to minimise harm, which we have done, with the understanding that this is an extraordinary body of material capable of producing extraordinary reforms. It belongs in the hands of the Afghan people.
Give it to them.
Give it to them. So if the material is of diplomatic, political, ethical or historical significance and has not been published before or is actively being censored.
With the release date looming, Assange begins to give selected interviews.
As to whether something fits into that criteria, well, sometimes it's completely clear to one of our people that it is.
He's beginning to shake off his reputation for being elusive and tetchy with the media, to a degree.
Could we talk a bit about, Julian, your life and the way you have to live because of the precious...
No. This is it's an interview about me or it's an interview about WikiLeaks. It can't be an interview about both.
No, fine, that's all right. Still see people are interested in that.
In the final days before the release, Frontline, a journalist club in Paddington, becomes temporary HQ for Assange and assorted volunteers.
6 of them. These are all new.
You know what I've done before, which is actually really nice. So if you think you've got a hot phone, you charge the battery up fully, and then you post it overseas. Not airmail, snail mail.
Yeah.
So like it goes, on the train or wherever to the airport and
to the boat and
overseas. So the people are tracking it, are like seeing this thing.
That's good. That's excellent. Yeah.
This type of quick setup, quick pull down office is becoming a hallmark of WikiLeaks and thoroughly in keeping with Assange's semi-itinerant lifestyle that he's led since childhood.
So this is temporary HQ.
Yeah, until this is our London London HQ for the launch. It's pretty nice, actually.
And then the circus moves on to another temporary HQ somewhere else.
Yeah, then we'll do another thing. So maybe, I've totally rejected these views that you understand the psychology of the person in the childhood and you understand the man. But actually, pretty much we're doing something that my family did do when they're involved in the theatre and movie business, which is go to a location, set it up, and bring all your people, get it all together, get ready for the production launch, and bang, go. So I don't think that forced me into doing this work. It certainly perhaps has made it a bit easier.
This section, the third, describes the type of incident.
It's 10 p.m. Sunday night. The New York Times, The Guardian and Der Spiegel launched their websites promoting the following day's publication.
So CNN's up, says tens of thousands of alleged Afghan war documents go online.
The New York Times has been going quite mad on that. The Guardian's just got a couple, Der Spiegel just one.
The information is now on the internet. 200,000 pages, mostly classified secret. It's the raw details of America's war in Afghanistan.
It will be the beginning of a media storm that will last for days.
The Guardian, Amerikan New York Times gazeteleriyle Alman Der Spiegel dergisinde yer buldu.
Chamado Wikileaks, criado por jornalistas, ativistas e...
With 100 journalists waiting outside, Assange prepares for the critical first press conference that will set the tone of the coverage. Assange sees today's task as keeping the focus on the story and not on the attacks on him and Wikileaks that he knows will come.
Holy fuck. We're familiar with groups whose abuse we expose, attempting to criticize the messenger to distract from the power of the message. Incredible.
Yeah.
MSNBC. So that it would be an offence for us to reveal that sort of information. However,
I mean, if they wanted enough, they'll pull back.
We've done that quite successfully over the past 4 years with it. Pretty good, actually. Yeah. We'll see what they're like when they come out, but I think the incentive now is to explore the newsworthiness of the event, not to engage in ad hominem attacks. The news is too much of a leader for this to try and lead with an ad hominem attack.
Meaning attacks on you, you mean?
Yeah, attack on the character.
Yeah. On the source.
Okay, great.
There's a few people that want like really late stuff and then really early stuff because of the time differences of different places. So I don't know how you're feeling about sleep this evening.
Larry King.
What was this one? They were all like, the site's overloaded, we can't get on, and we're already aggro. I would ignore them if I were you. Are you happy to just ignore them? Okay, good. Okay. I mean, they're all one after the other. None of these are decisions between. Right. It's just okay. So Channel 4, you'll do a panel.
Is that a yes you have? Or you have?
No, you go, Larry King.
Larry King, they want to do the whole hour with a panel, someone from Homeland Security, Gates, maybe Ellsberg.
That'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
panel.
It would be
Gates, Ellsberg, and me. And another guy.
She mentioned a few other names, but didn't get them so quickly.
How good would that be?
And it would be from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. this time.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, let's put it in. I can always cancel. Last moment. Yeah.
Okay. I'll let her know that's a ticket.
You can always cancel at the last moment on Larry King. You can't cancel at the last moment on Larry King.
Sorry, Larry.
Tonight, Afghanistan bombshell. Leaked documents ripped the lid off the war. The man whose website, Wikileaks, published the classified documents for the world to see is here. It's all next on Larry King Live.
Julian, you said that these leaked documents contain evidence of war crimes by United States forces. What kind of evidence?
In the end, it will take a court to really look at the full range of evidence to decide if a crime has occurred. And when we see events like a Polish My Lai, it has actually started.
It's about Julian. You?
What? Jesus Christ.
So, 2 million on the front. Guardian has it all in again. The front page and...
Is that the Times now?
Yeah. Yeah.
My God, look.
Another double page spread. And then you've got your own banner at the top here for 3 pages in the Times.
Happy?
That worked yesterday.
We did okay.
That was today.
It's today.
Today.
God. Well, I'm untouchable now in this country.
Untouchable?
Untouchable.
That's a bit of hubris.
Huh?
That's a bit of hubris.
Well, for a couple of days. Can wear off. But next few days, untouchable.
Well, this is a significant chunk in itself, but is there more to come?
There's a vast range of material
for all
countries, not just related to the United States, or the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. But yes, there is material that is every bit as significant as this.
Stay tuned.